So I'm doing this tour, and it's the first time I'm actually going out with symphonies all over the country, and hopefully we'll go to London soon, and Canada, and stuff like that eventually. But I used to always, kind of a hybrid. I always sort of walking the fine line between the rock world and the pop, and then the Broadway stuff. And I've always found that I always had a sort of a hard time figuring out how to include all of my influences and my favorite things to sing, and my audience, and what that is, and is it young girls from Wicked? Is it my gay friends? Is it older theater people or whatever? So this has been really fun because it's it's just me and my music director, Rob Mounsey, his name Mounsey. He's an incredible piano player and arranger. He's arranged and orchestrated for, how many pieces is it? 80 pieces or something up there? Anyway, he took a lot of my material that I've done in the past, original songs that we've now kind of rediscovered in this new context, and we have some new stuff, standards, and then we take a Lady Gaga song, and then we do a rock tune that, but because the entire orchestra is playing, it has this cohesion, and I can just stand there and sing, and I feel like it's all me, and it's not confusing. Does that make sense?
Do you have any plan? Do you plan on going back to musical theater?
Yes, I'm dying to go back to musical theater. I'm kind of in the development stages with a couple of projects that are exciting to me, but I don't really think I'm like the revival girl unless there's, there's only a few things that probably that I'm really right for. I feel like I've made my career on originating roles, and I'm proud of that. So those kind of things take a lot of nurturing and years, and they also don't come often. And so there's a few little embryos out there that are happening that I'm excited about. And it's actually perfect timing because of the baby. I can't be in New York right now. I don't want to take him away from his dad who has to work in LA. So it is a great time for me to run back here and do a workshop or a reading of something of these composers that maybe have 5 songs in Act 1, and so that's exciting for me, and it's a process that I've always really enjoyed. I had it with Rent and with Wicked, where I was involved early on and was standing at the piano with Stephen Schwartz or Jonathan Larson while they were creating new music for my role, and there's nothing better than that. And it makes my job easier because it's sort of the chicken or the egg, like where's the character and where's me, and it's just, it's scary because I've done it twice, and they've both been such magical and life-changing experiences for me. I wonder, am I going to have another one like that? But you can't think that way. You just have to keep doing stuff that you really love, and the thing about motherhood is helpful with all that, because that's really what matters, so then everything else takes on a little bit less severity, you can just focus on him, and then the other stuff is handy.
I've been taking questions from Twitter because there's a lot of people who couldn't be here today. So I have one fan who's asking, Murphkins is her name. She's talking about making the transition from all these roles that you're very well known for and into a solo artist. And is that more nerve-wracking, not having the cast to back you up, kind of having to stand out by yourself? Do you have to shape these roles?
My answer to that usually is, most people would think if you don't have a character to hide behind, that would be scarier, more vulnerable, and that can be true, but for me as an artist, I feel like I'm always trying to be as authentic and as transparent as possible, and if you can't see my soul, whether I'm in green makeup or I'm on stage doing an original song, you're not going to get goosebumps or feel that connection to me. So it's always the same adrenaline, the same nerves, because it's me up there no matter what.
Have you guys talked about a Wicked movie?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. I honestly haven't, they've already told the both of us that we'll be to, what is it, Long in the Tooth? Is that the expression? which, you know, I thought was absurd until I was hired as Rachel's mother. So this year has been really good for me. That, pregnant, no. What was the question?
You guys had talked about it.
Oh, the movie,
We're
yeah.
having
And
any
this
sort
is
of
my
involvement.
new idea is I tell the producers, just do it like Avatar, you know, and then I'll be this amazing, gorgeous, exotic green woman, and it can be the essence of me and my voice and my, you know, my movement, and just less crow speak.
Can you talk more about the experience of doing Rent as a film, you know, after having done it on stage for so long?
Well, and it was 10 years
Yeah.
apart, yeah. It was a reunion, honestly. It was so much fun. And of course, my husband again on the film. And we were missing a big counterpart with Daphne Rubin Vega. Rosario Dawson took over for her, and she's fantastic, and we love her. But, you know, she was my buddy, and she was a big part of the show. So that was a little odd. But for me, it was great because I had only done supporting roles in film. So when you're a supporting role, you come in for a couple days, maybe come back a month later. You don't get stuck, get comfortable, you know. But with Rent, we were all together all the time, and I really could learn the science of filmmaking. I got to know the crew guys, so I could say, you know, what am I doing here? Are you close up? How should I play this? You know, just all the technicalities that I actually find really interesting. So that was great, and also just rediscovering it, having had 10 years of lighting experience was fun. How I approached the role. Back then, I was very much fly by the seat of my pants, and now I had more experience, and I felt like I enriched her, and she had more depth. I don't know if it came across the movie, but my process felt like that.
You mentioned sitting around the piano with Jonathan Larson back in the Rent series. Any great memories you want to share with us, or any special moment?
Well, one wasn't around the piano. We had took a lunch break, and I was just getting to know him, you know. And we were walking to, I think, would it be Thompson Square Park down near West Washington? Yeah. We were just going to take like sandwiches and sit on benches. And I was asking him about his process, and because he had just gotten grants money to develop the show. He left the dance diner, and he just said, I just know, he was just so positive. He just said, I know this is going to be something that's going to change your lives. That's how he said it. And then musically speaking, there was a duet written for my character and Joanne that was completely different than what's in the show. And once he got to know the both of us, he said, this is totally wrong. It doesn't show off your voices and personalities. And so we never worked on that scene until about a week before dress rehearsal. He came in, and I had sung When a Man Loves a Woman for my audition, so he made me sing that at the piano again in all different keys, and then he came in the next day and he had a song sort of influenced by those chord changes and stuff, and then he sang, and that was Take Me or Leave Me. And then that's when Tay says he heard us sing it. He said, ooh, I gotta get with that girl.
If you were going to do your own duet film, who would be your duet partner?
If everyone said yes,
Yeah,
please.
and everybody will
sing
say
Bono. Jeff Buckley, if he was alive. Annie Lennox. Barbara Streisand. Maybe Michael Bublé. I pick all the cute. Tay could have a track on there. He doesn't feel like he's been singing it all lately. So
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, I think she's just ridiculous. She's so good. Are we excited about that film? You think? Not as bad as Showgirls.
Showgirls and a baby.
No, it's going to be better than that. But Cher's going to keep it on track. By doing these concerts, I'm kind of learning a little bit about myself and where I'd like to go artistically on the next album. And so I've started to put that together, and I'm actually getting in the studio next week. I'll have some originals, but there'll be a lot of classic standards on there as well. And I think it will be developed by an orchestral sound. This is fun. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to my therapist.
All right, guys. Thank you. Please for coming.